Now, you want to know about the scoring and so forth. There is no absolute score. So back when I took the exam in, another century in the Dark Ages, we had three kinds of questions. We had true-false questions, we had general multiple choice questions, and we had math multiple choice questions. The true-false questions were worth 1 point. The multiple choice were worth 2 points, and the harder ones were worth 3 points. So it was clearly very definitively defined. Now it's not. First of all, we don't have any true-false questions. Everything is multiple choice or math multiple choice, and they don't have any way to define for us in simple terms how those are scored. They're using quantitative analysis and developing the score based on the content of each person's individual exam. So when we took it, everybody got the same exam. It was in person. We got a little white exam book, and we could write our notes and comments and stuff and put our name on the book. And we would fill out those little computerized sheets with the little circles in it. And they would take that and they would take our books, but they would send the books back to us 3 or 4 months later when they finally scored the exam. So we would have that information. In this case, they don't do that anymore. So back then, everyone had the same exam. Now they have a large database of questions. And from that database, they pull out 100 questions each time somebody takes the exam. They're randomly selected from the database, but pulled together in such a way that every exam should be equally difficult, even though they may be completely different questions. And then using quantitative analysis, they assign some value to each question. That makes you feel really wonderful. You don't really know exactly what's going on, but it's there. So what's going to happen is the exam has 100 questions. You're only going to get credit scored on 85 of them. There are going to be 15 questions in each exam that aren't going to be scored at all. The passing score is 105. If you get a higher score than that, you won't know. You're only going to get the information that you made it to 105 and you have passed. If you didn't get 105, then you will get your score. And very often I see people who got like 103. And I'm going to tell you right now that those people who came really close, what happened was they went back through and reviewed their answers and they changed the initial answer they put in. So after you're doing all this studying, trust yourself. You know a lot more than you realize. Don't go back and change answers. That's usually what's going to cost you just enough to fail the exam. And when you do finish the exam, they have messages that are coded 1, 2, or 3, and it will tell you, let me see if I have a copy of that. It will tell you, how strong you are in each of the different areas. So each exam may have anywhere from 3 to 6 different modules within the exam, topics that it covers. And if you get a 1, that means hang on, if you get a 1, it means you really need improvement. If you get a 2, so-so, you kind of understand it. And if you get a 3, then you really know the topic well. They were doing that just for people who failed, but we asked them, since they have the technology to do that, could you please also give that information to people who passed? So now when you pass the exam, you're also going to get the information to learn how strong you are in the different areas.